camera opens on Omaha, Nebraska. In 1930, the Great Depression has cast a shadow over America. Inside a modest home, a baby boy is born. Warren Edward Buffett. No one could have guessed this quiet child would grow into one of the most successful investors of all time. A man who would teach the world about patience, discipline, and the power of thinking long term. Warren grew up watching his family stretch every dollar. His father, Howard, was a stockbroker and later a congressman. His mother, Leela, was frugal and strong, making meals from almost nothing during the hardest years. That sense of scarcity stayed with Warren. At just 6 years old, he started selling bottles of Coca-Cola door to door for a small profit. At 11, he bought his first stock. When it dropped, he panicked, then sold when it barely rose. He made a tiny profit, but learned a lesson that would guide him forever. Don't rush. Be patient. Warren was quiet, shy, but brilliant with numbers. He told a friend he would be a millionaire by the time he was 30. People laughed. Warren didn't. By the time he graduated high school, he had saved what would be $50,000 today from newspaper deliveries, golf ball sales, and even pinball machines in barbershops. He applied to Harvard Business School, but was rejected. Instead of quitting, he went to Columbia, where he met his hero Benjamin Graham, the man who taught him value investing. Warren learned to buy great businesses at fair prices and wait patiently. After working for Graham, Warren returned to Omaha and started his own partnerships, outperforming the market year after year. In the 1960s, he bought a struggling textile company called Berkshire Hathaway. Slowly, he transformed it into one of the world's greatest holding companies, investing in brands like Coca-Cola, Geico, and American Express. Despite becoming one of the richest men alive, Warren never changed. He still lives in the same Omaha house he bought in 1958, drives a normal car, and eats McDonald's breakfasts. For him, money was never about showing off. It was about freedom. Warren pledged to give away over 99% of his fortune, co-founding The Giving Pledge with Bill Gates. His message to the world is simple. The best investment you can make is in yourself. Warren Buffett's life proves you don't need luck or privilege to change your future. You need patience, integrity, and the courage to stay calm when others panic. The boy who once sold Coca-Cola bottles became the Oracle of Omaha, and his story reminds us all to plant our tree today so we can sit in the shade. Tomorrow, the camera fades in on a young Warren Buffett, now in his late 20s. The year is 1956. Warren has just returned to Omaha, but this time he is not just the kid who delivered newspapers. He is ready to build an empire. He starts Buffett Partnership Ltd. with just 7 investors and $105. Warren puts in only $100 of his own money, but what he brings to the table is far more valuable. His discipline, patience, and sharp eye for undervalued companies. Every decision Warren makes is slow, deliberate, almost surgical. He studies businesses for hours, sometimes days, before investing. He is not chasing trends. He is buying companies he believes in. And soon, his partnership starts to outperform the stock market by huge margins. People begin to notice, but then comes one of the strangest moves of Warren's life. His decision to buy a failing textile company called Berkshire Hathaway. Most people thought he was crazy. The business was losing money. The industry was dying. But Warren saw something deeper, an opportunity to use Berkshire as a vehicle to buy other businesses. He slowly turned it into a giant holding company, a decision that would make history. The 1970s and 1980s became Warren's golden years. He invested in companies like the Washington Post, Geico, and Coca-Cola, all of which became massive winners. His calmness during market crashes became legendary. While others panicked, Warren kept buying. He famously said, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful." Those words became the foundation for a new generation of investors. But Warren's journey was not just about money. It was about character. He stayed in Omaha, far from Wall Street, because he wanted a quiet life focused on rational thinking. He read hundreds of pages every day, sharpening his mind like a sword. His partnership with Charlie Munger, his right-hand man, turned into one of the most powerful duos in business history. Charlie challenged Warren to buy not just cheap companies, but wonderful companies at fair prices, a shift that made Berkshire unstoppable. By the late 1990s, Warren had become a billionaire, but unlike many billionaires, he still lived modestly. No yachts, no fancy houses, no luxury lifestyle. Instead, he kept reminding the world that wealth should have a purpose. As the camera zooms in on Warren sitting in his small office, he smiles and says, "Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago." Warren's second chapter is proof that success comes from discipline and patience, from making smart decisions every single day. The boy from Omaha was no longer just a dreamer. He was building a legacy. The screen opens with a wide shot of Omaha, calm, steady, just like Warren Buffett himself. It's the early 2000s, and Warren is now one of the richest men on earth. Yet, he still drives himself to work every morning, stopping at McDonald's for breakfast, always picking the cheaper meal if the market had a bad day. This is not a show for the cameras. This is who Warren really is. By now, Berkshire Hathaway has become a giant. Its shareholders, thousands of them, fly in every year for what they call the Woodstock of capitalism, Berkshire's annual meeting. Warren and his partner Charlie Munger sit on stage for hours, answering questions with honesty and humor. No scripts, no filters, just raw wisdom. Investors come not just for advice, but for life lessons. Warren begins to think deeply about the meaning of money. He realizes no matter how much he earns, he can't take it with him. And so, in 2006, Warren makes one of the boldest decisions of his life. He pledges to give away more than 99% of his wealth to charity. It becomes one of the largest philanthropic commitments in history. This inspires him to co-create the Giving Pledge with Bill Gates, a campaign urging billionaires to donate at least half their fortunes to causes that make the world better. Warren proves that true wealth is not measured by what you keep, but by what you give. Even as age catches up with him, Warren never loses his humor or his optimism. In interviews, he laughs, cracks jokes, and keeps reminding young people that the secret to success is simple. Invest in yourself, never stop learning, and surround yourself with people better than you. In one quiet moment, Warren once said, "When you're nearing the end of your life, the only thing that matters is how many people you want to have love you and how many actually do." For him, Success is not about net worth. It's about relationships, respect, and doing what's right. As the music swells, the film shows Warren walking through the modest halls of his Omaha office. There are no bodyguards, no luxury cars waiting outside. Just a man who proved that you can become one of the richest humans on Earth without losing your soul. The narrator's voice lowers. Warren Buffett's life is a reminder that patience is power, integrity is wealth, and generosity is greatness. His story is not just about money, it's about living a life worth remembering. As the final shot fades, Warren's quote appears on screen. The best investment you can make is in yourself. The camera opens on a quiet Omaha morning. Warren Buffett, now in his 90s, sits at his familiar desk surrounded by stacks of newspapers. The world outside has changed. Technology has exploded. Markets move faster than ever. Yet Warren remains calm, steady, a lighthouse in a storm. This is not just the story of a man. It is the story of a mindset. Warren continues to write letters to Berkshire shareholders every year, sharing not just numbers, but philosophy. He speaks about trust, about honesty, about long-term thinking, values that seem rare in a fast-paced, instant gratification world. In his later years, Warren has become a teacher to millions who may never meet him. He encourages young people to read, to think independently, and to build reputations that money can't buy. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. He warns, reminding the world that integrity is a priceless asset. Even as his age grows, his energy for life remains strong. He plays the ukulele, jokes with students, and shares simple wisdom like, you don't have to do everything, just a few things right. His life proves that success is not about speed, but about consistency. Warren also prepares for the future of Berkshire. He chooses successors carefully, not based on fame, but on values. People who will keep Berkshire's culture alive long after he is gone. To him, legacy is not about having statues or buildings named after him. It's about leaving behind a company and a philosophy that will continue to inspire. His philanthropy continues as well. Every summer, he donates billions to charity, breaking records year after year. His giving is quiet, humble, without fanfare, a reflection of the man who never cared for luxury or spotlight. As the scene slows, the narrator's voice grows softer. Warren Buffett's story is more than an investment tale. It is proof that ordinary people with discipline, patience, and compassion can create extraordinary lives. He didn't invent a product. He didn't build a tech empire. He built trust. He built confidence. He built a way of thinking that changed millions of lives. The final shot shows Warren leaving his office at sunset, walking toward his simple car, smiling. The narrator says, the Oracle of Omaha is not just a man of numbers, he is a man of principles. His life teaches us that you don't need to be the smartest in the room. You just need to be the most consistent. As the screen fades to black, one last quote appears. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. And with that, Warren Buffett's story becomes not just history, but a guidebook for generations to come. The final lesson, Warren Buffett's message to you. The screen fades from Warren's office to a dark background. The narrator's voice softens. This time, it feels personal, as if speaking straight to the viewer. This is where the story becomes about you. The music builds slowly, hopeful yet powerful. Warren Buffett was not born with billions. decisions. He didn't inherit a business empire. He started as a shy boy in Omaha with a paper route and a dream. What made him different was not luck. It was the choices he made, the habits he built, the patience he practiced. The camera shows Warren as a young boy, then cuts to him as an old man smiling at his desk. Every day, Warren planted small seeds, reading, thinking, saving, learning, and over decades, those seeds became a forest of success. That is the lesson for you. Your small decisions today will shape the life you live tomorrow. The narrator's tone grows more intense. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You don't have to be born rich, but you do have to take responsibility for your future. Read more, learn more. Surround yourself with people who make you better. Save instead of spending to impress. And when everyone else panics, stay calm. Clips flash, the stock market crashing, headlines screaming. Then Warren sitting calmly with his Coca-Cola, smiling. He taught us to be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. That's not just about money, it's about life. Don't follow the crowd. Think for yourself. The music swells higher, almost heroic. Warren Buffett's story proves that greatness is built quietly, not overnight. And you, yes, you, have the same 24 hours he had. The question is, what will you do with them? The final images show a sunrise over Omaha, symbolizing a new beginning. The narrator whispers, almost like a friend sharing a secret. The best investment you can make is in yourself. Start today. Read that book. Take that first step. Build the life that your future self will thank you for. Because one day, someone else will sit in the shade of the tree you planted, and that will be your legacy. The music reaches its peak, then fades into silence as the screen shows Warren Buffett's quote one last time. Do what you love. Surround yourself with people you admire, and you can't go wrong. And with that, the story closes, not as an ending, but as an invitation for every viewer to write the next chapter in their own life.